Hey there, guys. Gosh, I miss you. Let me just start by saying, you know, it's a tough time. I really do miss you guys, and for goodness sakes, make sure that you are being the best versions of yourself through this crisis. You know, get outside every day. Make sure you're doing things. There's uh, a chance to excel under adversity. In addition to getting more out of your class work than your peers do, gosh, go clean out your garage. Find things to do to help your family, your loved ones, your neighbors. If you live across the street from a little old lady gonna have trouble cleaning up her yard, for goodness sakes, get out there and get that done for her. As far as class goes, going to go ahead and go over the library renovation here. We've been doing different parts of it here. We've talked about land use regulations. If I look over on the left of my screen here, we've looked at commercial wall systems. We looked at commercial roof systems. We looked at structural efficiency. We've started to go through, and even in structures, we've been chasing loads. And so on and so forth. We're going to go back to the beginning, which is the major um, part of this, which is in 3.1. It is the Keystone Library renovation, and we'll actually get into the Autodesk Revit, and we'll start meeting some constraints of design. So we're looking at a brownfield. A brownfield's an abandoned building, typically like an industrial building where you might have some dangers or so on and so forth. This is very common in our area. Canton has certainly experienced a decline in manufacturing. There are abandoned buildings or buildings could be bought very cheap that could be repurposed, and that's something that urban renewal is a very popular thing, and that's how they guide us through commercial architecture. So it's a nice project, and we're going to basically take the structure that we've already seen. This is the structure we use to chase loads and stuff, and we're going to turn it into a library in the city of Noblesville. So here's an example of this was the structure, and then this is the edit structure. So you're actually going to do that in Revit. You'll download the Revit building file right here. The site file's here, but the Revit file, so you'll going to download the skeleton. It's gutted, and then you'll make adjustments to it. Those adjustments that you make, you're going to certainly be guided. For instance, the part of the existing roof that is not enclosed for the new second floor will be converted to a green roof that will be accessible to the public. And then certainly you'll have codes. So this green roof, the second floor, I'll have to have two means of egress. And, if there were a fire, you can't get blocked by having only one path. You certainly have to have two paths, but that'll be covered in codes. So this week, starting the 30th here, we're going to devote our week to designing and taking and adjusting this renovation of this building, and we're going to redesign it to meet the following constraints. I'm going to scroll down here. So design should follow applicable building codes and local regulations. I'll certainly be assisting you that. I'll try to screencast daily, and we still have some things that we have to learn, obviously, but I will help guide you with the code. Modern entryway be added to improve the aesthetics of the building. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so I imagine we'll have a lot of different things there. Provide full accessibility and include exterior covered area with benches. So that's something that we'll probably be downloading from Revit City or BIM objects, some benches and whatnot. But as far as the aesthetics, that's going to be largely subjective. A partial second floor will be added with an elevator. I can certainly do some screencasts on how to do that. Inside we'll have an entry and circulation desk area, children's help desk. How big something like that is, honestly, it'll be a little bit arbitrary for us to start because we're not library renovating experts. Open area for stacks and computer terminals, public restroom. Restrooms will actually be governed by mathematics because we'll ultimately compute occupancy by the square footage of the building, and that determines things like public restrooms and parking spots. We'll have a librarian's office, a staff workroom slash kitchenette, staff restroom, two meetings room, a Noblesville history room, and a mechanical room. The second floor, including a green roof area, will have an open floor area for stacks and public restroom. So what we're going to start with this week is taking these constraints and adding them in. How I add them in, I'm going to take the original Revit building file and I'm going to literally start adding walls. I'm going to start adding, things such as computer desks and stuff like that, but I'm literally going to do that. Now, I highly suggest that you do take some time and scroll over the whole thing, because as you get down to deliverables, you'll see that, boy, I'm going to have to turn in some pictures. First floor plan. Well, I'm going to have to see where's the librarian's office, where's, the children's check-in and things like that. These are all going to be critical areas as far as doing that. So while we'll start with these constraints, please do look ahead and realize, okay, you're going to have to put them all into a Revit file so that you can easily generate things such as floor plans and sections and building sections, which we've obviously been dealing with the building some already, but we've been doing it a lot by pen and paper and chasing loads. So please go ahead and download that. If anybody's having trouble downloading Revit, I believe everybody has Revit on their computer. If you do not, shoot me an email and I'll help you. If you do not have your Project Lead the Way login, shoot me an email and I'll generate you a new one so that we can get you taken care of. But this is going to be week 1, the 30th, and we're going to pretty much use 5 days to do that. I got to think that would take you some time. I won't expect it due for about 2 weeks, but please, get on it earlier rather than later. We do have to hold ourselves accountable to make sure our deliverables get turned in. So that being said, good luck, and please tune into Google Classroom. I'll try to post every day a new section, and I'll do this at the same time that you're doing it so that we can constantly do that. And please post in the Classroom stream any questions that you might have that might pertain to others also, because certainly if you're having the question, a lot of us are going to have the question. All right, thanks, good luck, and gosh, stay safe out there, and remember to socially distance.